Liverpool start their title defense. Arsenal, City, and Chelsea all look to regain their Premier League trophy. Will the promoted teams keep from being relegated this season for the first time in 3 years? Jacob, the Premier League season is back. It starts tomorrow. I know you've been talking about it all week. How excited are you for the
We're
Premier
so
League
back.
season?
I
So
can't
back.
wait. This is going to be a great season. I just can't wait for tomorrow already.
Thank you very much for joining us. This is Twin Football, and in today's episode, we are giving you our picks for week 1 of the Premier League season. So let's go ahead and dive straight into it with Liverpool at Anfield taking on Bournemouth. And this game is one of those where it's so one-sided, it's impossible not to go with Liverpool if this was any other day of the season. And it's at home, and it's the first game of their title defense. We'll see who Arne Slot starts in terms of the new signings. Frimpong, Wirtz, Ekitike. We'll see who all gets the nod. But Liverpool outscoring Bournemouth 44-6 in the last 14 games, only losing once back in the 22-23 season. Liverpool all 3 points to kick off their title defense. I can't see anything else, but maybe even a Mohamed Salah hat trick as well, just for
Yeah,
a
I
little
wouldn't be
bit of
surprised.
fun.
Does
But
Kirkez get on the score sheet against his old club?
I would love to see it just for fun because Bournemouth sold their entire back line just to rub it in a little bit. But we'll see
Yeah,
how
I
that
think
fits on.
Liverpool start off strong. Next up, we got Aston Villa taking on Newcastle. It's sixth place versus fifth place to kick off the season. They were tied on points last season. Newcastle just had a better goal differential. That's why they got that fifth spot. Villa hasn't lost any players going into this season other than their few loan players in Rashford and Asensio. McGinn has recently been linked with Everton, but doesn't look like it's going to happen. He will suit up this Saturday. Morgan Rogers has a little bit of a knock. Doesn't look too serious, so he should be good to go. He was so great last season. Aston Villa had only one loss at home last season, and in this fixture last year beat Newcastle 4-1. Newcastle has had quite the bad summer. Most people would argue it was the worst summer out of any of the other
By far.
19 teams. I can agree with that. Isak will not be playing, even though he's still technically under contract with Newcastle. It's honestly not a good look for player or club at this point. But who is going to play striker with Callum Wilson going to West Ham? Newcastle just doesn't have a number 9. Aaron Gordon has played that role in a couple preseason games this summer. He does not look comfortable in that position at all. He much prefers the wing, number 7, or even the number 10 spot. He's just not a natural number 9. I have to go Aston Villa at home, but I'm excited for this one.
This is definitely one that you would circle if it wasn't for Manchester United, Arsenal, two teams that were fighting to the last day of the season last year for that last Champions League spot. Newcastle getting it on goal difference. Villa, maybe a little bit of a revenge. I like it. I like Ollie Watkins to get on the score sheet in that one. Now, the next one, Sunderland promoted back to the Premier League will kick off their campaign at the Stadium of Light. Failed to win 6 out of their 8 preseason games, where West Ham have won 5 of their last 6 preseason games. Sunderland is also dealing with a couple injury concerns. Isidore, who was their lead goal scorer in the championship, has been having a nagging injury in preseason. We'll see if he gets the nod. Enzo Laffi, who did battle some injury concerns through February of the championship, has returned to full health, but hasn't been getting a lot of minutes in preseason. We'll see if he gets the nod and who of the new boys will get the start for Sunderland. So a lot of concerns, especially Captain Luke O'Nien, center back, not going to be playing in the first 3 games for Sunderland. West Ham on fine form, Sunderland not on fine form, and coming up from the championship should spell 3 points for West Ham, but not today. Tickets for Saturday's opening game all went within 1 day of going on sale. Season cards, too, are long gone. Kit sales have never been higher at the club shop as everyone is looking to get the Premier League badge. It is going to be rocking at the Stadium of Light. It's going to
It
be
is. I'll
crazy
give you
at
that.
the Stadium of Light. And it is nothing but 3 points and top of the table on goal difference, Sunderland
On
to
goal
take
difference.
it. I'm calling it now.
All right.
Leeds United, when they had a 12-year hiatus from the Premier League a couple years ago in 2020, started off their campaign with 7 points from their opening 9. I think Sunderland will be right there with them and in the top half of the table come the next couple of game weeks, and it's going to start with 3 points at home to West Ham.
I like it. I don't know if I believe it, but that'd
You
be
have
an
to believe.
interesting result. Next up, we got Brighton taking on Fulham in another matchup with teams that finished in a similar position on the table last season. Brighton has lost Joao Pedro to Chelsea. They signed Costalis from Olympiacos, 35 million euro center forward. He doesn't look like he has proven himself in training. Reports are that Danny Welbeck, the 34-year-old, will secure the number 9 position at least in the beginning of the year. He is getting up there in age, but he had a brilliant year last year. He's taking care of his body. I think they're happy to have him start in the number 9 role. Losing Joao Pedro is a big hit. They might lose Baliba as well. That would be an even bigger hit, in my opinion, as he was so integral to their success last year as the CDM. It's such an important position. We've seen it. Every good team has a solid CDM, it seems, these days. Taking on Fulham, though, who haven't done much in the summer transfer window at all. They signed a goalkeeper for about 500K. That's about it. Anthony Robinson, their left back, is not fit. He had a minor knee surgery and will not be fit for the start of the season, which means Sessegnon will get the start at left back. Minta will need to take full advantage of this down the right for Brighton. I'm going draw in this one.
Yeah, I could see it. Brighton, they always just reload, though. Every time you have a concern that they lose people like Joao Pedro, Estupinian, even if they do lose Baliba, you think the whole sky is going to be falling, and somehow they pull out a Baliba out of their hat that come out of nowhere and perform well. But I could see a draw would be a good start for both teams. A draw would not be a good start for Tottenham at home after that bottle job in the Super Cup against PSG, 2-0 up with only 10 minutes to go and failing to win that one in penalties. But in that game, we saw Paulinha come back. Speaking of a former Fulham CDM there, he is back in the Premier League. He's going to look good. And Thomas Frank rolling out a new formation with a back three, Romero and Van der Ven both being healthy, is a big reason why I think Tottenham will do well this year. If they can both stay healthy, that's going to make Tottenham a very hard team to beat. I have them getting all 3 points here at home. I'm excited to see Paulinha play. Basuma has been suspended by Tottenham for being late too many times. Thomas Frank really laying down the law there in his new regime. So we'll see what effect that has on the squad. Solanke getting some minutes in the Super Cup was great to see after his injury concerns. He'll get on the score sheet, and Tottenham all 3 points at home.
I can't wait to see what Thomas Frank does with this Tottenham team. It's going to be an interesting year. An easy game to start the season that they got to get 3 points. Next up, we got Wolves taking on Manchester City. Wolves lost Cunha and Aït-Nouri this summer. They've just lost so much talent over the last few seasons. They did sign Fer Lopez, a 21-year-old right winger from Celta Vigo. Lots of people are super high on this kid. We'll see if he can perform. Strand Larsen was signed after his loan at the club from Celta Vigo. He had 14 goals and 4 assists, but he will need to improve upon that if he's going to fill the void left by Cunha. Manchester City lost KDB to Napoli. An end of an era. The best Manchester City player of all time.
Lost is strong. You let him go. You let him go. Lost seems a little strong.
Fair enough. Massive shout out to the Ginger Prince himself. Aït-Nouri, first Premier League game against his old club. We'll see if he gets the start. City also signed Tijani Reinders from AC Milan and Cherki from Lyon. Some absolutely massive signings. I'm super high on Reinders and Cherki. City, however, still have a massive hole in their right back position. We've been spoiled with Kyle Walker the past 8 years, and we really need to fill that hole if we're going to challenge for the title this year. Mateus Nunes will most likely get the start at right back. He is improving in this role, but you can still tell that he's playing out of position. Rodri is still dealing with another injury, but hopefully working his way back from that ACL injury. Kovacic is also injured after having surgery on his Achilles at the start of the summer. Nico Gonzalez will need to step up in their absence. He's going to be huge for us while they're gone. I'm giving City all 3 points.
A lot of former players making the move up the Premier League, playing their former team this week. Another one here, and I agree with you. Manchester City, definitely all 3 points. Chelsea going to look to keep pace with Liverpool and Manchester City and also take all 3 points when they take on FA Cup and Community Shield holders Crystal Palace. We will see how Eze, how Mark Gahey is going to be playing in this game. They're both great professionals. I think they will be there. They will be starting. Oliver Glasner has this team clicking once again. Mateta with a grin on his face from start to finish in that Community Shield game. He is going to be trouble for the Chelsea back line, who will be missing Colwill and most likely Trevor Chalobah. So we'll see who gets the start as the center back pairs to help deal with Mateta. But Chelsea, Joao Pedro, free-flowing on the attacking end at the end of last season, the Club World Cup, and then in preseason, Chelsea all 3 points at Stamford Bridge, because we're going to be rolling out the Club World Cup trophy one more time. Let all the fans see it. Let Mark Gahey see it. Maybe we can convince him to come on back to Chelsea instead of going to Liverpool. We are the champions of the world, Mark Gahey. Come on, join us, you know?
Next up, we got Nottingham Forest taking on Brentford at the City Ground. James McAtee has, in the last couple of days, been linked with Nottingham Forest move. I honestly think that would be a great signing. He's shown lots of promise for City, just not good enough right now to break into the City 11. Not many people can at this point. We've got lots of midfielders. Nottingham Forest lost Elanga to Newcastle. They will definitely miss his 11 assists last season. They basically straight replaced him with Dan Ndoye, very similar player on the right. It's objectively a downgrade, but still a decent signing. The big thing, though, is they were able to hold on to Morgan Gibbs-White. He's their number 10. He's their playmaker, and it's absolutely massive that they kept him. The million-dollar question for me is, will an aging Chris Wood be able to repeat his 20-goal season last year? He's 33 now. He had a lot of great moments last season, and he'll need to do the same if they want to replicate what they did last season. Lots of people are not expecting it. Lots of people are not planning on Forest repeating what they were able to do last year, where they're fighting for a top 4 position up until the last couple weeks. Brentford have had a pretty tough summer. They had a pretty tough summer the previous year with all the Ivan Toney drama, and this summer was arguably even worse. Thomas Frank leaving is huge, and Mbumo leaving is also huge. I don't expect much for Brentford. I expect them to be in a relegation battle for most of the year, and I got Nottingham Forest taking all 3 points at the City Ground.
What an interesting offseason for both of those teams in terms of players trying to leave, like Wissa from Brentford and Gibbs-White from Nottingham Forest. Both are still at their club. We'll see if that remains at the end of the window. Leeds, on the other hand, trying to get in as many players as possible and try and stay up in the Premier League. They even went as far as to sign Calvert-Lewin after he was released from Everton, another former player taking on his former club. I don't think Calvert-Lewin will be playing in this one, but he'll definitely be seen at least 12 times by the cameraman in the stands at Ellen Road when they take on Everton. So no new stadium for Everton just yet. They have an away game to kick off their campaign, and I think a draw will be a fair result in this one. Leeds definitely playing well in preseason. Ampadu moving out of that center back position, moving back up into the center defensive mid to try and add some more stability, but I just don't think Leeds are going to be scoring enough goals. Only 2 goals in their last 3 preseason games. I worry a little bit about that. Maybe Calvert-Lewin can give them a juice, but it's not going to be in the first week or in the second week. Who knows how much training he's had since he's been released by Everton. Everton more stout, so I see a 1-1 draw here, but I think a good result that both will take after game week 1.
Everton has started so slow the last couple seasons. We're giving the promoted sides 4 out of 9 points. That's more than most people would probably expect, but I could see it happening.
Sunderland's going to be top of the table, so that's 3 points right there.
To end the match week predictions, we have the match of the weekend. We got Manchester United taking on Arsenal at Old Trafford. What a treat for the first week of the Premier League season. There's so many storylines here. It's Ruben Amorim's first transfer window. He didn't want to join United in the middle of last season. He wanted to wait for a transfer window because he knows his formation requires a certain set of players, and he didn't think that United had that set of players last season, and he certainly struggled after coming to United in the middle of the season. They spent 230 million euros this summer. Only Liverpool and Chelsea have spent more this summer. They have completely overhauled their front three with Sesko, the striker, and Mbeumo from Brentford and Cunha from Wolves, each of them costing over 70 million euros. They got 15th place last season. All the pressure is on. They have to rebound. Are they going to do it? Arsenal, two of the best signings of the summer in Zubimendi from Real Sociedad and Gyökeres from Sporting Lisbon. Zubimendi is proven CDM and will open up a lot of their midfield, such as Declan Rice, to go forward more. He's just a proper number 6. Gyökeres is a proper number 9. They finally signed their striker. He is more of a question mark on how he will perform in the Prem, but Arsenal finally signed their striker. We've been asking them to do that for years. A lot of people claim they can't get over the hump and keep getting second because they haven't had a number 9. So this is their season. 63 goals in 57 games for club and country last season. Sure, he is solid at penalties, but don't you want your number 9 to be solid at penalties? I love this signing for Arsenal. I really think they could do something special with this signing, but the pressure is at an all-time high for Arteta and the players. They have to win a major trophy this season. They've been knocking on the door for so long at this point. It's at Old Trafford, and I'm going draw here.
Ooh, a draw. Shared points. Arsenal, I think 1-2 in the last 5 at Old Trafford, and that was when United was at the low of low. So do you think Sesko starts this weekend up top with Cunha and Mbeumo behind him?
I wouldn't be surprised if Højlund gets to start if he's fit. I do expect Mbeumo and Cunha to get inserted right into the lineup that
good
is
preseason.
Amarim's most sought after targets this summer.
Yeah, and Baliba, I think, will join, like I said, in our season predictions video. So if you haven't seen that one, go check that one out. But I said I think Baliba will be a Manchester United player by the end of the window, and I think he'll fit into this system perfectly, either next to a Bruno Fernandes or a Kobe Mainoo there in the center of the park. But a draw, shared points for United and Arsenal, as Arsenal will fall behind the pace, as predicted here on Twin Football. Thank you very much for joining us, and remember, enjoy the football.